Okay, good morning, dear students. Welcome all to the session on income tax. We will be going through the topic salaries in detail. And just to give you a brief of the topic on salaries, we discussed in the initial class about salaries is the first head of income. We have totally 5 heads of income. All of you are aware of that. So, will you be able to tell me what are the 5 heads of income? Just for recapitulation, because you need to get familiarized. Slowly, you have to get familiarized with this income tax. So that's why I keep asking certain things again and again. So, would you be able to tell me what are the 5 heads of income?
Rental income, capital gains.
Voice is breaking actually. Voice is breaking. Who is speaking? Actually, I don't know.
Rental income.
So you have to go by the order, Ramya. You have to go by the order what we discussed. That's very important. See, one suggestion for all of you, whatever you want to follow a method, approach, in order. So if you go by order of heads of income, what is the first one?
Salaries.
Income from
house.
income from salaries. Now second, what is second head of income?
Income from house property.
You should say it as income from house property. You cannot say it as rental income. That's the point. So when we talk of heads of income, the first head of income is income from salary, income from house property. What is
Income from profit and gain of business of profession.
business of profession? Income from, what is the fourth one?
Income from capital gain.
Income from capital gains. Capital gains. Fifth one?
Income from other source.
Yeah, it's called residually. It's called the residual head of income, or the final one, which is called as other sources. Income from other sources. So these are all the 5 heads of income. We are going to discuss in detail how to see income tax is a combination of income under all these 5 heads. The combination of income under all these 5 heads is referred to as what? Okay, I am going to now introduce you to the notes here, which I will try to keep typing out, and 5 heads of income for making it easy for you. Are you able to see the notes?
No, sir.
Notes are you able to see? No?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought this is part of your screen, so it's not visible. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, give me a minute. Can you confirm now?
Sir.
Is it visible? Yeah, all of you are able to see the notes?
Sir, Windows symbol மாதிரி தான் வருது.
Sorry?
It's partially visible, sir.
Partially visible. Actually, I don't know why it's partially visible, because the screen is full. I will have to share it again. Now? Now, is it visible?
Sir, not for me.
Okay, there is some issue. I don't know. Okay, don't worry. So we are discussing about the 5 heads of income. Income from head salaries, income from house property, income from business or profession, then capital gains, and income from other sources. In the head salaries, every head of income has got a basis of charge, and the basis of charge for salaries income is salary is chargeable to tax on due or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. We discussed that. And what was the definition of salary we discussed in the last class? It's very importantly, the definition of salary we discussed in the last class. Hope you remember that. And the sum total of this 5 heads of income is called dash. All the 5 heads of income, once you determine the income,
Of income.
the sum total of this is called what?
Gross total income.
Good. It's called gross total income. Correct. Perfect. So these are all the things you need to be very much familiar. So gross total income, then you have deductions under section 80C to 80U. And these deductions, after that you get something called net income or taxable income. After that you get something called net income or taxable income. So this is how you determine the income tax. On the net income or taxable income, you have to calculate the tax payable. You have to calculate the tax payable. based on whether the person is an individual or a firm or is an HUF, etc. Because the tax rates are going to be different. We'll be discussing this later. How to determine the tax. Okay, how to determine the income is the first thing. Then comes how to determine the tax. All of you are clear? Okay, coming to the head salaries, I'll briefly tell you the salary is structured in a form where you have different components in it. One is we discuss about the basic salary, etc. Then we discuss about allowances. We have allowances which are referred to as cash allowances. So cash allowances are normally taxable under the head called salaries. Then we have something called non-cash perquisites. Non-cash perquisites. That is, like for example, we discuss about a rent-free accommodation, a car with a driver, free food at the office. You are a salaried employee. In your office, they are offering you free food, free laptop, free computer, free mobile phone, gym facility, membership in a club. So a company can think whatever they want, they can give. So these are all referred to as non-cash benefits. So basic salary, then you have allowances. In allowances, you have taxable allowances, non-taxable allowances, or partially taxable allowances, partially non-taxable allowances. We are going to discuss that in a lot more detail. Then we have got something called the annual benefits or the retirement benefits like provident fund, gratuity, all that. We have to determine the taxability of all of that. How to go about determination of taxability of all of this retirement benefits. If you remember, last class we started with leave salary. So in leave salary, I briefly told you what is about leave salary and how the taxable portion of leave salary is arrived at. Leave salary is the cash equivalent of the leave unavailed by an employee during his course of employment. Though he is eligible to avail the leave, he has not availed it for whatever reason. It could be a reason because he had office work, he couldn't avail the leave, or he had some personal thing, he couldn't avail the leave and do anything. So he chose not to avail the leave. So the cash equivalent of the leave not availed by an employee is referred to as leave salary. Now, the employer can choose to give you leave salary on a year-on-year basis. For example, I told you, normally for income tax purposes, the annual eligible leave is 30 days in a year. That averages out to 2.5 days a month. If you're going to be eligible for 30 days leave in a year, and if you're taken only 10 days leave in a year, they can compensate for the unavailed leave of 20 days in the form of a cash equivalent. And the 20 days cash equivalent of leave salary is taxable for whether he is a government employee or a non-government employee. So leave salary availed during the course of employment is fully taxable for government employee as well as non-government employee. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you how to arrive at the taxability part of it with respect to leave salary, whether it is taken on a year-on-year basis or at the time of retirement. So if an employee, being a government employee, is going to take all the leave encashment at the time of retirement, which is also an option available. As per terms of employment, you can choose to take it at the time of retirement. So when you choose to take it at the time of retirement, the entire leave salary component is exempt from tax for a government employee. So you are working in a government department. Let us say you are working with central government. Central government, you are working with the HR department, HR ministry, or you have this Ministry of Corporate Affairs, whatever. If you're going to work in this department or ministry, you are a central government employee, or you can work in a state government also. So if you're a central government or a state government employee, and if you're going to get leave encashment, that entire leave encashment taken at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax. Nothing is chargeable to tax. It's a big advantage. Now, being a government employee, there are a lot of such tax advantage. A lot of such income are exempt from tax. One of that is leave salary. But if you're a private sector employee, and if you're going to retire and if you're taking a leave encashment, it is partially taxable, partially exempt. So what is exempt is what I think briefly we discussed in the last class. However, I will now again take you through for a non-government employee, private sector employee. For example, Mr. X is working in Hindustan Unilever Limited. In Hindustan Unilever Limited, he has worked for 30 years. He is retiring. At the time of retirement, the company is offering him some X amount of leave salary, cash equivalent of the leave unavailed. And whether it's taxable or not, the answer is yes, it's partially taxable, partially exempt. How to calculate the exempt portion? Did we discuss this in the last class? The exempt portion, how to determine for leave salary? I think yes. Anyhow, I will take you through the provisions now. Carefully observe how to determine the taxable portion of leave salary for a private sector employee at the time of retirement. At the time of retirement. Let me take the lesson for you. One minute, I'll open the screen. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
No?
Sir.
No worries.
I am able to view it, sir.
Somebody is able to see, somebody is not able to see. I don't know why. Okay, so now it's all of you are not able to see the screen. Only some of you are able to see the screen. I don't know what's the issue. I'll again try that. Now,
Yes, sir.
Now I can view the screen.
Yes.
you're able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So here look at the provisions, leave salary or leave encashment. It's called leave salary or leave encashment. I already briefed you what it is. It is coming under section 10(10)AA. Government employees, leave salary received at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax. This is what I explained you. And for non-government employees, this is the procedure. Carefully observe. Leave salary received at the time of retirement is exempt from tax to the extent of least of the following. 3 lakhs is the limit fixed by government. Leave salary actually received, 10 months salary on the basis of average salary for the last 10 months, and cash equivalent of leave to the credit of employee at the time of retirement or death, and earned leave entitlement cannot exceed 30 days in a year of active service rendered. So there are 4 limits here. First limit is 3 lakhs. So we are to focus on this. Non-government employees, what is taxable, what is exempt. The first limit is 3 lakhs. Second limit is leave salary actually received. The company will give you leave salary based on their own policy. So what is actual leave salary received? 10 months salary based on the average salary of the last 10 months. So average salary of the last 10 months means what? Let us say an employee is retiring on 1st January. Let us say, for easy understanding, an employee is retiring on 1st January. So you have to take 10 months before 1st January and take what is the salary received by him for the last 10 months, the previous 10 months. So December onwards, you have to work back. December, November, October. So it's, I think it will start on 1st March. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 10 months. So he is retiring on 1st January and 10 months before that would be last year, March onwards up to December. Take the 10 months average salary, mathematically average it out and multiply it by 10. That is the third limit. 10 months average salary. Now, very important, dear students, when we say salary, there is a meaning for the term called salary. Meaning means what components we have to consider. I will show by working out a problem as to how to calculate leave salary. But before going into that, kindly understand the provisions correctly. So 10 months average salary means 10 into the average salary for the previous 10 months before retirement. And salary means what? Basic plus dearness allowance star. I always keep using this term called dearness allowance star. DA star means to the extent dearness allowance is considered for retirement benefits as per terms of employment. Now let me explain this to you. When you join a company for a salary, as per terms of employment, they will tell you for PF and other retirement benefits, we will give you a percentage of your basic salary plus DNS allowance. So then you have to consider DNS allowance also. Plus commission star. Sometimes it may so happen that you are a sales person, you are engaged in sales and marketing, so they give you a commission as a percentage of the turnover achieved by you. If they're going to give you a commission as a percentage of turnover instead of a fixed commission, then you need to consider the commission part also as a component of salary. So 10 months average salary means the last 10 months salary Three components of that is basic plus DA star plus commission star. Are you able to follow me? So the four limits prescribed, the first limit prescribed by government is 3 lakhs. Second is actual leave salary received by the employee at the time of retirement. These are all applicable for private employees. The third thing is about 10 months average salary. And the fourth important thing is leave standing to the credit of employee at the time of retirement in equivalent months into average salary. That is, I will show you now. I will open Excel and show you. I'll open Excel now. Just give me a minute. I will show you how it has to be calculated. Let me share the screen with you. 1 minute. Let me share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Leave salary in respect of private sector employee, non-government employees. Least of the following is exempt. So the following is exempt. So the first one I said is 3 lakhs. This is the amount fixed by government. Second is leave salary actually received by employee. Third, 10 months average salary. Okay. Fourth, leave months standing to the credit of employee. That is unavailed leave at the time of death into average salary. Average salary means average salary preceding the date of retirement. Okay. Salary includes, very important, basic, DA, I said star. Okay, for easy understanding. DA star. Star implies what? I'll tell you what is star. Commission star. Double star. So star means it is included, DA is included for retirement benefits. If you include DA for retirement benefits, you should include it for the purpose of meaning of salary. It's called as meaning of salary. Commission will be included. What does it mean? Commission, if commission is paid as a percentage of turnover achieved by the employee, because he's a salesperson. Are you able to understand this? If you got any doubts in this, please let me know. Leave salary in respect of non-government employees, the least of the following is exempt. It can be 3 lakhs or leave salary actually received by employee, or 10 months average salary, or leave standing. Okay, coming to this fourth point. Leave in months standing to the credit of employee. I'll tell you how to calculate that. So let us say an employee is eligible for eligibility. for 30 days leave in a year. The service, total services, let us say 25 years. Yes, for total of 25 years service. So eligible leave available, 25 years. 50 days. Leave availed during employment. Let us say leave availed during employment is availed only for easy understanding 510 days. So leave unavailed available. What is leave unavailed?
240 days.
Correct. 240 days. Now you have to convert this in months. So leave unavailed 240 by 30 equal to how many months? Now you have to multiply this fourth one is about leave in months 8 into average salary. Average salary means both common meaning, both for 0.3 and 0.4. Common meaning is 10 months average salary preceding the date of retirement. Salary includes three components: basic, BA star, commission star. And you have to calculate the taxable component or the amount which is exempt from tax. All of you are able to understand what we discussed? Is there any doubt? Anyone has got any doubt in this, or you need any clarification on this? I'll work out a problem now, and then you can understand it much better. Very, very important. Each component, you need to determine the taxable component and the exempt component, particularly with respect to this retail benefits. Then we have, as I said, allowances, and then we have perquisites. Okay. So kindly ensure that you are able to follow me. And if you got any doubts, so do not hesitate to stop me. I'll be glad to clarify you. Okay, so now let us work out a problem. Then it will be possibly easier for you to understand it much better. So let me share the screen. Are you able to see this? Okay, I'll come to other points a little later. Look at this problem. Mr. Gupta retired on 1/12/2001 after 20 years of service and received a leave salary of 5 lakhs. Other details of his income are as follows. Basic salary 5,000 per month. 1,000 was increased with effect from 1/4/2021. Dearness allowance 3,000 per month, 60% of which is considered for retiral benefits. So this is a point. Out of 3,000, only 60% is considered. Commission is fixed commission per month. You should ignore. If it's a fixed commission per month, you should ignore. If it's a percentage of salary or turnover rather, you should consider that. And he's got a bonus of 1,000 per month. Leave availed during services 480 days. He was entitled for 30 days leave in a year. And you are required to compute his taxable income and the head leave salary, assuming he is a government employee. Now, what is your answer here? First of all, if Mr. X is a government employee and if he is going to receive X amount of leave salary at the time of retirement, what is taxable? And what
Fully
is not
exempt.
taxable? Fully exempt. Very good. Very happy that you are all able to understand clearly. So he is a government employee means it is fully exempt from tax. Nothing is chargeable tax. Now, but if he is a private sector employee, then I gave you 4 slabs. So for a government employee, leave salary received at the time of retirement is 5 lakhs. Exemption is available under section 10(10)88), 5 lakhs. Leave salary taxable is nil. But if he is a non-government employee, now I will have to work out and show you based on this problem, or here we can go through this itself. I told you it is 4 slabs. What is leave salary? First limit is what? Statute limit fixed by government, 3 lakhs. Second is actual leave salary received, 5 lakhs. What is the third one? 10 months average salary. So he is retiring on 1st December. Can it, so 10 months before that would start with February to November. February to November. Kindly observe this problem closely. 10 months average salary means what? You have to consider the last 10 months salary and average it out. So for first 8 months, look at this carefully. He is getting 5,000 into 8 plus 4,000 into 2, because what is this 4,000 into 2? Salary increased by 1,000. Salary is increased by 1,000. So for 8 months is getting 5,000. For 2 months is getting 4,000. Plus DA, I said 60% of 3,000 into 10 months. Are you able to understand this calculation? Let me repeat. he is getting 5,000 rupees salary per month as basic salary for 8 months and 4,000 rupees salary as basic salary for 2 months, because the question says it is increased by 1,000. Look at the date. Look at the date here. It says basic salary was increased from 1/4/2021. So for 2 months, he is receiving only 4,000. For 8 months, he is receiving rupees 5,000. Plus, you have to consider 60% of DNS allowance, which is 3,000 into 10 months by 10. So 10 months into average salary means 10 into the total monthly salary by 10, you will get average salary of 66,000. Are you able to follow this calculation? So there are 2 steps involved here, dear students. First of all, you need to calculate the 10 months average salary. Then multiply it with 10. Since both are 10, you may get confused. You have to be very clear here. First of all, you need to calculate the 10 months average salary before retirement. And then multiply. So that works out to 6,600. The 10 months average salary is working out to 6,600. Then multiply it with 10. You will get 66,000. Are you able to understand this? All of you are clear? Yeah. So don't get confused between these 2 tens here. 10 months average salary means the multiplying factor is also 10, and the previous 10 months salary has to be averaged out. And that is 6,600, which I showed you how it is calculated. 5,000 rupees salary for 8 months, 4,000 rupees salary for 2 months, plus DNS allowance, 3,000 fixed DNS allowance. Of that, only 60% is considered for retirement benefits. So you need to only consider that part. Commission you have to ignore because it's a fixed commission. Only if commission is paid as a percentage of turnover, you can include it. Otherwise, you have to exclude it. Then the last, cash equivalent of leave standing to the credit of employee at the time of retirement. So leave eligibility is, look at this carefully, leave allowed every year. He has put 20 years of service, and every year he's got eligibility of 30 days leave. So he's eligible for 600 days leave, but he has availed 480 days. So what is unavailed leave? 120 days. Convert it into months, 4. So 4 into average salary, 6,600. We already know 6,600 is average salary. So 4 into 6,600 is 26,400. So out of this, what is least? There are 4 limits I prescribe. The first one is, okay, the order is, ideally, I would recommend you to go by this order. First statute limit. It doesn't really matter because anyway, you're going to take the least of them. Even if the order changes, don't worry. So first, the leave salary received by employee at the time of retirement is 5 lakhs. Statute limit is 3 lakhs. 10 months average salary is 66,000. And the last one is cash equivalent of leave salary unavailed is 26,400. So the least of the following is exempt. What is the least of the 4? What is the amount least of the 4? Out of this 4, which is the least?
6,400.
Correct, 26,400. So what do you need to do? 26,400, very important. I'll show you this Excel sheet. Is this Excel sheet visible? No? 1 minute. I need to keep changing it. So how to calculate the taxable portion? So in the example, what we are discussing, to leave salary received 5 lakhs less exempt 26,400. What is then taxable? The difference between the two. 5 lakhs minus 26,400. The taxable leave salary for the concerned employee, which will be included in the head call salary, is 4,73,600. Are you able to understand this calculation? Now, how do you actually calculate total salary? Computation of salary for easy understanding. You will have something called basic. In this problem, let us take basic. What is monthly basic? Now, this is for previous year 2021-22, an assessment year 2022-23. Yeah. So your applicable previous year is 21-22, and assessment year is 22-23. So basic salary is receiving currently, as per question, how much is receiving? What is the current basic salary? Okay, he received for 10 months X amount, and all this increase and all has happened, right? So you have to calculate the basic. then BNS allowance, then commission. This is a fixed commission of 500 per month, so 6,000 per year. And BNS allowance, whatever he receives. What is the BNS allowance we saw in the question? What is the per month BNS allowance?
3,000.
3,000. So 3,000 into 12, 36,000. And for the previous year, 21-22, okay, I think he retired on what date? That is important. You have to consider only for 10 months. I think he retired on
Retired on December. December or
December.
January.
So you have to, correct. So he's retiring on December means you have to consider everything for how many months? April to December. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 10 months, 9 months. First December he's retiring, right?
Yeah.
So April full, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. November 8 months. So DNS allowance is 3,000 into 8. Into 8, so 24,000. You have to consider everything until the date of retirement. Similarly, commission is receiving at the rate of fixed commission of 500 into 8 is 4,000. And basic say, what is his basic salary for the at the time of retirement and for the whole year for 8 months? How much is received? 8 months is received at the increased rate of 5,000 per month, so 40,000. Then comes leave salary. Leave salary, as I already showed you here, working note 4,73,600. So let us say there is no other salary income. The sum total of this is this salary income. So total salary income. Like this, you have to keep adding the components of salary. So 40,000, 24,000, 64, 68, 473 plus 68 is 470, 543, 600. This is income from salary. Are you able to understand or not? Now, computation of salary, we are going to discuss each component, how the taxable portion is arrived at. And for this purpose, I just now took up leave salary and I have showed you how leave salary is actually calculated. So to determine the taxable portion of leave salary, which is 4,73,600, we have to do few steps here. I hope all of you understood that. Kindly let me know if you're all clear or if you've got any doubts in this. See, income tax, I'll tell you, dear students, I don't know whether I told you earlier. Every one of you should spend at least 1 hour a day, minimum 1 hour a day on income tax. Whether you study accounts today or law today, it doesn't matter really. Because if you don't do accounts today, you can do it tomorrow, or if you don't study law today, you can study tomorrow. But income tax, I would suggest all of you to go through every day minimum 1 hour, because there are many provisions involved in this. And to get familiar with the provisions and get computational aspects correct, you need to have a lot of practice. So I would suggest all of you to spend quality time every day. At least this is what I was doing. Every day I used to spend minimum 1 or 2 hours or so for income tax only. Without doing that, I never go to sleep. So kindly make sure that you study 1 hour at least income tax on a daily basis. Then only you will be able to cope up with the syllabus portions and the various provisions under the Income Tax Act. Because every single number has to be calculated. Every single component of income has to be calculated. Leave salary means you cannot just put some number there. You have to calculate. Gratuity means you can't put some number there. You have to calculate what is taxable. So each and every component of salary income, there is a calculation involved. So without knowing the calculation properly, you cannot get it right and the whole answer can go wrong. So that is why I'm telling you, every day you have to spend 1 hour. Then once you're thorough with the provisions, then it is a cakewalk. You can easily calculate it and you will get full marks for that. In fact, I need to tell you that I was a topper in my CA final direct taxes in my coaching center. I attended my classes in a leading coaching center, which was actually coordinated by the past president of the CA Institute, a proud student of for taxation purposes, our past president, and I attended his class for direct tax final. And in fact, you know what was my score in final? Any guess? I stood first in CA final. Around 40 to 50 students were there in my class coaching center. Out of that, I was a topper. So any guess what mark I would have got in CA final? DT, direct tax final, first mark. Small guess, sir. நான் வந்து வீடியோ கிளாஸ்ல எல்லாம் கொடுத்துருக்கேன், இங்கேயும் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன், எல்லாம் பண்றேன், ஒரி பண்ணிக்காதீங்க. சும்மா அப்பப்போ நான் அது மாதிரி கேட்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷனுக்காக தான் கேட்குறேன். ஸோ நான் வந்து என்னுடைய கோச்சிங் சென்டர்ல நான் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மார்க் டைரக்ட் டாக்ஸ் ஃபைனல்ல. அப்போ நல்லா யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, நான் இப்போ சொன்ன பாயிண்ட் தான் வருது எனக்கு திருப்பி மைண்ட்ல. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன், சிங்கானியா புக் இஸ் வெரி குட் புக், ஃபாலோ தட் சொன்னேன். நான் இன்டர்வியூ சிங்கானியா தான் ஃபாலோ பண்ணேன், ஃபைனலி சிங்கானியா தான் ஃபாலோ பண்ணேன். ஸோ இன்டர்ல வந்து ஐ காட் வெரி குட் மார்க்ஸ், இன்டர்வியூ ஐ காட் வெரி குட் மார்க்ஸ் பிகாஸ் இட் வாஸ் அ காம்பினேஷன் பேப்பர். Income tax and accounts or something. I got some 82 or 83 in inter. In final, I got 60. That was the top score in my class. So to get 60, what I'm telling you. So 82 in inter, good. It was fairly easy. Inter was okay for me. In fact, that was the first time I was going through income tax. I still got some 80, 82, whatever. So the point is, the more you read income tax, the better it is. So kindly spend at least 1 hour a day. Okay, for income tax preparation. All of you are clear? So எனக்கு வந்து இந்த ceiling fan தெரியுது. ரம்யா, can you put on your camera? And தான் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றது கிளாஸ். கரெக்ட். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு புரியுறதா இல்லையா நான் பார்க்கறதுக்கு தான் சொல்றேன். ஜெயஸ்ரீ இஸ் வீடியோ, வாட் ஹேப்பன்? Okay, good. You can have a cup of coffee in video also, no problem. I don't have a problem. I told you this already. காத்தால காஃபி சாப்பிடல, 7 மணிக்கு தான் காஃபி சாப்பிட்றீங்கன்னா காஃபி சாப்பிட்டு அட்டன் பண்ணுங்களேன் கிளாஸ். நம்ம கிளாஸ் தான் அட்டன் பண்றோம், ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. இதெல்லாம் ப்ரோட்டோகால் கிடையாது. ப்ரோட்டோகால் என்ன தெரியுமா? கரெக்டான டயத்துக்கு கிளாஸ் வரணும். கிளாஸ் விட்டு வெளில போனா சொல்லணும், சார் நான் ஃபர்தரா அட்டன் பண்ண முடியாது, எனக்கு ஒரு பர்சனல் ஒர்க் இருக்கு, சாட்ல போடலாம், இல்லை எனக்கு ஒரு வாட்ஸ்அப் அனுப்பிடலாம், என்னால கண்டினியூ பண்ண முடியாது, எக்ஸ்கியூஸ், நீங்க கிளாஸ் விட்டு வெளில போறோம். See, let us make it flexible. ஐயோ கத்தால கிளாஸா, சார் வந்துருவாரு, போட்டு 1.5 மணி நேரம் போட்டு நம்மள ஒரு வழி பண்ணிடுவாரு அவரு அப்படின்னு நீங்க நினைக்க கூடாது. கிளாஸுக்கு ஜாலியா வரணும். சரி, போர் அடிக்குது ரொம்ப, வரும் பேசிட்டே இருக்கா ரொம்ப நேரமா, சார் எனக்கு ஒரு பர்சனல் ஒர்க் இருக்கு சார், அர்ஜென்ட் ஒர்க் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் பண்ணி போங்க. நான் ஒன்றும் தப்பு சொல்றேன். ஏன்னா நீங்க பாஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க ஆடிட்டர் ஆகப்போ, நீங்க கம்பெனி செக்ரட்டரி ஆகப்போ, நீங்க காஸ்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் ஆகப்போ, அதுக்கு தான் நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். ஸோ அது உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், நான் அதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண வேண்டாம். ஸோ யூ நோ மீ பெட்டர், I need not tell you that. So what I mean to say, I want to keep it as flexible as possible and as interesting as possible, so that don't get too much worried about simple things. ஒரு காஃபி குடிக்கலாம், இல்ல காஃபி குடிக்க வீடியோல கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, கூச்சமா இருக்குன்னா ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணி டக்குனு ஆன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஏன்னா சில பேர் காஃபி வீடியோல குடிக்கிறது you may not like it also. That's okay, no problem. So நீங்க அப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும், ஒரு நிமிஷம் சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு வீடியோவை சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு நீங்க காஃபியை குடிச்சிட்டு இல்ல பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட். ஏன்னா காலேஜ் போகணும் நிறைய பேருக்கு அடுத்தது. Some of you may have to go to college, correct? Ashita is smiling. So I know she's got a college pressure. அந்த ப்ரெஷர் அங்கே ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு. நீங்க கிளாஸ் அட்டன் பண்ணும் போது ஐயோ காலேஜ் அசைன்மெண்ட், அவங்க மேடம் வேற வந்துருவாங்க இன்னைக்கு போட்டு. காலேஜ்ல எல்லாம் என்ன பண்றாங்க எனக்கு தெரியும். என்ன நான்லாம் எவ்வளவு தேவலாம். ஏன்னா நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் கோர்ஸ் பண்றதுனால நான் அந்த அளவுக்கு உங்களுக்கு இது பண்றது இல்லை. ஏன்னா நீங்களாம் மெச்சூர் படிக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்ட்டு. பட் காலேஜ்ல எல்லாம் பின்னி பெடல் எடுத்துருவாங்க உங்க ப்ரொஃபசர்ஸ்லாம். கரெக்டா? ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருப்பாங்க. ஐ கெஸ் எங்கேயாவது ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருந்தாதான் நமக்கு நல்லது. ஓகே, எல்லாரும் நம்ம லிபரலா விட்டா அப்புறம் என்ன, நம்ம ஜாலியா தான் இருப்போம். இப்போ எனக்கே யாராவது ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா பண்ணாதான் நான் பண்ணுவேன், வேலை ஏதாட்டி பண்ண மாட்டேன். ஸோ இட்ஸ் காமன் ஃபார் ஆல் ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ். ஸோ ஃபீல் ஃப்ரீ, பி அட்டென்டிவ், அட்டெண்ட் த கிளாஸ், எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் யுவர் செல்ஃப் இட் நாட் ரெக்வயர்ட், மெயின்டைன் தட் டெக்கோரம் அண்ட் ப்ரோட்டோகால். ஏன்னா கிளாஸ்க்குள்ள வந்துட்டு அப்படியே வெளில போறதுங்கிறது தப்பு, அதுதான் பிடிக்காது. It's because it's not appropriate. So kindly communicate and go, that's all. And if you want to excuse yourself before the class, kindly communicate, sir, today I will not be able to attend the class for this. This is what I want. I don't want anything, and be attentive in the class. And switch on the video and be attentive in the class. This is a simple thing I request from all of you to make the class all the more interesting and effective. Okay, yeah, good. So leave salary thorough, all of you clear about leave salary? Any doubt in leave salary? Shall we proceed further? After this, I want to consider something called gratuity. Gratuity. Now, what is gratuity? Any idea what is gratuity? Gratuity is again a retiral benefit. And there is an act called a Gratuity Act. And this act is 1972, very old act. So any idea what is the meaning of the term called gratuity?
He serves in a company for more than 3 years or 5 years.
Okay.
He gets the gratuity amount.
Okay, good. So gratuity is actually coming from an English word. Would you be able to tell me what is that English word which is the basis for the term gratuity?
Sir, is it gratitude?
It is gratitude. Good answer. இது ரொம்ப ஃபண்டமெண்டல். இது நமக்கு வந்து தெரிஞ்சா நல்லது. அதுக்காக நான் நார்மலா அதை யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன். Gratuity is actually picked up from an English word called gratitude. What is gratitude? தமிழ் அதுக்கு ஈக்குவலன்ட் வார்த்தை. Gratitude is தமிழ் ஈக்குவலன்ட் வார்த்தை.
To be thankful.
To be
Thankful.
thankable. Good. To be thankable. Showing gratitude. Gratitude க்கு தமிழ் வார்த்தை அர்த்தம் தெரியுமா? Appropriate word. Exact word. I think நன்றி கடன், maybe. Correct? நன்றி கடன். தமிழ் நீங்கெல்லாம் தமிழ் படிச்சு உங்களுக்கு தமிழ்லாம் நல்லா தெரியும் இல்லையா? ஸோ தமிழ்லயும் நம்ம அப்பப்போ இந்த மாதிரி அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறது பெட்டர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்காக தமிழ்லயும் நான் சொல்லுவேன் ஒரு சில விஷயங்கள். நன்றி கடன் பட்டிருக்கேன் அவனுக்கு ரொம்ப. நீ வந்து எனக்கு அந்த காலத்துல ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிருக்கேன், நான் நன்றி கடன் பட்டிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன். ஓகே, இப்போ அது சினிமாவில் தான் வருது. அதுலயும் வராது. சினிமாவில் இவன் என்னடா ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டான் திருப்பி நன்றி கடன் அது இதுன்ட்டு. கிராச்சுவிட்டி சார் அது டிக்ஷனரியில் இருந்தது. அது 30 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி இருந்தது. இப்போ எடுத்துட்டாங்க சார் டிக்ஷனரியில இருந்தது. ஏன் எடுத்துட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு ஒன்று கிடையாது சார். நான் வந்து சில இதெல்லாம் ஹியூமரஸா ஜோக்குன்னு சொல்லுவேன். நான் சொல்லிட்டு தான் சொல்லணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நிறைய பேர் சிரிக்க மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க. ஜோக் மாதிரி இருக்காது. இது ஜோக் இது. ஓகே, அதனால நம்ம சிரிச்சுக்கணும். எனியோ ஃபைன். ஸோ எல்லாரும் அப்படியே ஸ்டிஃபா மூஞ்சி வச்சிருக்கிறத பார்த்தா நம்ம எல்லாம் ஒரு ரோபோ மாதிரி ஆயிட்டோம் லைஃப்ல. ஐ டூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் யூஆர் ஆல் அண்டர் ப்ரெஷர். படிக்கணும், பாஸ் பண்ணணும், பரீட்சை வருது, வேலைக்கு போகணும், ஆஃபீஸ்ல பாஸ் திட்டுவாரு, எம்ஏஎஸ் ரிப்போர்ட் எனக்கு கொடுக்க சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அதுல 1000 தப்பு கண்டுபிடிப்பாரு, தலைவலி அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு தான் நீங்க எல்லாம் அட்டன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க கிளாஸ். எனக்கு புரியுது. பட் இருந்தாலும் நம்ம அந்த ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ்ல இருக்கிற அந்த இதை எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நம்ம விட்டுறக்கூடாது. ஓகே, நம்ம வந்து we have to keep all our senses right. ஸோ ஒரு ஸ்மைல், ஒரு ஹாய், எல்லாமே நம்ம ஃபேஸ் இஸ் இண்டெக்ஸ் ஆஃப் மைண்ட்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? ஸோ நம்ம ஃபேஸ் வந்து நம்ம வந்து ஒரு enthusiastic நம்ம இருந்தோம்னா எல்லாருக்குமே it will be interesting, including me. Okay, good. So the point why I am explaining in this detail is that gratuity is a word which is based on English term gratitude. And if, as sir said, if you are going to work in a company or an organization for more than a prescribed number of years, then you are eligible for an amount to be paid as a gratitude for having worked for a longer time. Generally speaking, gratitude is a general term and all that, but going by the Gratuity Act 1972, the Act provides that if you are working for a continuous 5 years of service, if you offer continuous service for 5 years, then you are eligible to get a gratuity. But this is a requirement under the Gratuity Act. But remember one thing, today various concerns like private sector organizations, they can offer you a gratuity as per terms of employment. The HR policy will be that if you have continuously worked for 3 years, they can still give you a gratuity. So anybody can give you gratuity. Even if you work for 1 year, they can give you gratuity. There is nobody to stop you. Now all enactments, labor laws, what we call bonus, gratuity, these are all meant to establish the minimum criteria. For example, the PF Act says if you have more than 20 employees, you are covered under PF. You have to contribute PF. But even if you have 5 employees, you can contribute PF. So it can be better, but it cannot be worse. That's the whole idea behind every act, every labor legislation. So Gratuity Act also provides that if an employee has provided a 5 years of continuous service, he is eligible to get an amount called a gratuity, generally at the time of resignation or retirement. Or under the Gratuity Act, they say that if something happens to the employee, death or incapacitated due to an accident, etc., then the company will give him gratuity much before 5 years also. So the 5 years of continuous service is a normal requirement, but there are few exceptions which we need to understand. So Income Tax Act, we have to understand the provisions of the Income Tax Act regarding the taxability of the gratuity amount received by an employee at the time of his retirement. Okay, gratuity amount, how it is taxable. Now again here, I will classify it for government employee. For an employee of government, the gratuity amount received at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax. Again, a benefit for being a government employee. if you're a government employee, the amount of gratuity received at the name of retirement is fully exempt from tax. But if you're a non-government employee and if you are covered under the Gratuity Act and not covered under Gratuity Act, for example, Gratuity Act requires establishments to be automatically covered under the Gratuity Act. So if you are a typically typically if you're running a factory with 100 workers, you are covered under the Gratuity Act. So for non-government organizations covered under Gratuity Act, there is a procedure for deriving the taxable component of gratuity and the exempt component of gratuity. And if you're an organization wherein you're not covered under Gratuity Act, there is a different procedure. So we are going to understand that. All of you are able to follow me. So let us go through the provisions of the Income Tax Act regarding taxability of gratuity. Now, here again, we are going to have 2 to 3 slabs. And out of that, least will be exempt. The balance will become taxable. The least will be exempt. The balance will become taxable. All of you are clear about what is gratuity. So let us go through the provisions regarding taxability of gratuity in a private non-government organization, okay, which is covered under Gratuity Act and which is not covered under Gratuity Act. Okay, let us go through that. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let us cover the gratuity part.
Sir, I can't.
No, sir. For me also no.
Not able to see, 1 minute. I'll show you in Excel. Let me take you through the Excel. I'll type it out. Easy for you. Okay, so some issue. I'll type out the provisions. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you for government employee, it's fully exempt. For non-government employee, covered under Gratuity Act. So in case of employees covered by Gratuity Act. So in case of gratuity, in case of non-government employees, covered under Gratuity Act. We have 3 slabs. One is 15 days salary. 15 days salary based on salary last drawn, based on salary last drawn for each year of service. So if an employee is going to put 30 years of service, 15 days salary you have to consider. So 15 into 30. But there is a small important calculation here. I'll tell you what it is. Second, rupees 20 lakhs. This is the limit prescribed by government. To be actually received. If you are a private sector employee or a non-government employee, the least of the following will be exempt. So the least of the above will be exempt. Least of the above will be exempt, balance will become taxable. Okay, now there is an important calculation when with respect to the length of service based on salary last year for each year of service. Very important. It is going to, let us say somebody's worked for 26 years and 5 months. You should consider only 26 years. Carefully understand this for the purpose of calculation. For the purpose of calculation, first point, 15 days salary based on salary last drawn for each year of service. If you has put 26 years and 5 months service, you have to take it as 26. If you has put 26 years and exactly 6 months, you should consider it as 26. If you has put 26 years of service and 7 months, then it is what?
27 years.
27. You have to consider it as 27. Now, one more important point, for determination of 15 days salary, you have to divide it by 26, because in any idea about what is the sanctity of this 26? So 15 days salary means, first point, 15 days salary shall be calculated as 15 by 26. So if an employee, let us say for example, and meaning of salary also I'll tell you, then I'll show you the calculation. Meaning of salary. Here again, basic, BA star, commission. In this case, he is eligible for basic plus BA if it is forming part of salary, and commission. Commission is if it is paid as a percentage of turnover. It's a percentage of turnover. Okay, of course, in this case, it's not, does not include commission. It does not include commission, only basic and BA star. So what does it mean? Meaning of salary includes basic plus BNS allowance to the extent it is forming part of the benefit for retirement benefits. It doesn't include any commission. Commission is completely excluded here. So if Mr. X has put some, let us say 27 years of service and last drawn salary is, let us say 5,000 or 6,000 rupees, then how you have to calculate? So 15 days salary, 15 by 26, let us say his last drawn salary is 5,000 into 27 years of service. So can you calculate and tell me what is this? This is slab 1. He has put in 27 years of service. So 27 years, okay, for easy understanding. 15 by 26, 26 or sanctity enna? 15 by 26 and denominator 26 போடுறோம் இல்லையா, அதோட sanctity என்ன சொல்ல முடியுமா?
Number of working days in a month.
Very good. So it's a number of working days in a month, excluding the 4 Sundays normally. So you assume 30 days in a month and 26 days you consider. So 15 by 26 into 5,000 rupees is the last drawn salary and 27 years of service he has put. So that is some X amount. What is this amount working out to? Using a calculator, can you use a calculator and tell me 15 by 26 into 5,000 into 27?
77,884.6.
884, okay, 85, whatever, okay. So second is, I said 20 lakhs fixed by government. Third, let us say, he has received a gratuity for, just for sake of easy understanding, 3,20,000. So out of this, what is the least? 77,885. So gratuity received is rupees 3,20,000. Less exempt is 77,885 and balance is taxable. What is the balance? Can you tell me? Gratuity received is 3,20,000. Less exempt is 77,885. What is the balance taxable?
242,115.
242,115. Very good. This is the taxable component of gratuity. You are able to understand this calculation? Any doubt in this? So Mr. X, his last drawn salary is 5,000. He has totally put 27 years of service. And so the step 1 is 15 by 26 into 5,000 into 27, 77,885. Second is the limit fixed by government, 20 lakhs. It's a fixed amount. And third is actual gratuity received, 3,20,000. So gratuity received is 3,20,000, exempt is 77,885, balance taxable is 242,115. All of you are clear or not?
Yes.
This is with respect to gratuity received by an employee who is covered under Gratuity Act and he is a non-government employee. Now, if he is not covered under Gratuity Act, the provision is slightly different. The procedure is slightly different. So for an employee not covered under Gratuity Act, for a non-government employee, not covered under Gratuity Act. Which of the following is exempt? $20 lakhs, which is fixed by government. Second, half month's average salary. Very interesting. I don't know why this difference is really coming. There's no point in it, but they decided to be so. For each completed year of service. So you should have completed the service. And third, actually actually received. So here, first one is easy, fixed by government, 20 lakhs. Second is half month's average salary, not 15 by 26 by 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into actual completed year of service. So if you put 32 years and 5 months, what you should take? If you put 32 years and 5 months of service, how much you should take?
32 years.
32, correct. If you put 32 years and 7 months of service, how much you should take?
33 years.
No, 32. For completed year of service. So any portion of the service you should ignore. That's the point here. All of you are clear? So the difference between covered under Gratuity Act and not covered under Gratuity Act is that when he's covered under Gratuity Act, anything above 6 months will be counted off to the nearest year. 26 years and 7 months means 27. 25 years and 8 months means 26. But for employees not covered under Gratuity Act, you should only consider the fully completed years. So if you put 32 years and 2 months service, also 32. If you put 32 years and 8 months service, also it is 32. So you have to consider only the completed years. So and the 15 by 26 photo in the 15 by 26 is half 1 by 2. So whatever average salary means average 10 months salary. The previous 10 months salary. So into average salary. Let us say it is 5,000. So whatever you get. So average salary. Salary means average 10 months salary. Just like we took for leave salary, here also similar procedure will apply. And salary includes basic plus DA star and commission double star. See the difference here. Basic, DA star, commission. Inga commission over. If it's a percentage of turnover. So are you able to understand the difference between covered under Gratuity Act and not covered under Gratuity Act? It's a subtle difference. So this 20 lakh is same for both. Second category changes. Half month's average salary means 10 months salary. 10 months average salary. Average salary 10 months salary. And for each complete year of service, like we did for leave salary and gratuity actually received. And salary meaning is basic, DA star and commission star. DA star nale and account. DA considered for retirement benefits and commission if it's a percentage of turnover. All of you are clear? Are you able to differentiate what is covered under the Gratuity Act, what is not covered under the Gratuity Act, and how much is taxable, how much is not taxable? Clear?
Yes.
All of you are clear? Now,
Yes, sir.
so I hope you understood it. Very, very simple, but there's a lot of calculation involved, so you need to practice. Okay, you need to practice, and kindly have a proper plan of studies, and kindly ensure that you stick to that plan broadly. Okay, you may not be able to follow a plan every day meticulously. There are some problems which may arise, but at least broadly you should follow the plan. Okay, so stick to that plan and work out problems and see, because there are few questions here which I will try and show you. Take a note of this question, a simple one with respect to calculation of gratuity taxable. Okay, X an employee of PQ Company Limited. X an employee of PQ Company Limited. Just a 3-line only. Okay. X is an employee of PQ Company Limited. He received 78,000 as gratuity, and he is covered under Gratuity Act. He is covered under Gratuity Act. Are you noting down the question? is an employee of PQ Company Limited. He receives 78,000 as gratuity and is covered under the Gratuity Act. He retires on December 12, 2020. He retires on December 12, 2020. After providing 38 years and 8 months service. The time of retirement, at the time of retirement, his basic salary was 2,400 and DNS allowance was 800. Now, dear students, for students appearing in June, May, June, and November, December next year, this 22. What is applicable previous year? For students appearing for May, June 2022 exam and November, December 2022 exam, what is your previous year? What is your assessment year?
Previous
Assessment
year.
year 2022.
22.
Sorry,
Previous years 21-22.
assessment year?
22.
22-23.
Correct. So remember that. Correct. So for those students who are appearing for, most of you are appearing for probably May, June and November, December. So previous year is 21-22, assessment year is 22-23. But for the limited purpose of the classroom, I am using a different year because some of you are even going for November, December exams. I mean, November means December exams. So the previous year is 2021, assessment year is 21-22. All of you clear? Okay. So that's why the question is for previous year 2021 and assessment year 21-22. So the provision doesn't change, don't worry. So he is getting a basic salary of 2,400 and DNS allowance of 800 per month. Determine the taxable portion of gratuity. So let me show how to do that. First, what is the first? So he's covered under the Gratuity Act or not covered under the Gratuity Act? Employee covered
Under the Gratuity Act.
Correct. Good. What is the limits I prescribed? What is the first limit? Covered under Gratuity Act, 15 days salary. So 15 by 26. 15 by 26 into how many years of service he has put?
39 years.
38 and 8 means 39. Good. 39 into basic plus DA. Last drawn basic and DA. Last drawn salary basic is 2,400 and DA is 800. 3,400. So what do you get? So 15 by 26 into 39 into last drawn salary basic plus DA. Both basic and DA are included for retirement benefits. So you get some X amount. What is that amount?
72,000.
Sorry?
72,000.
Very good. 72. This is slab 1. What is slab 2?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in this question, they have not given it as per month. So the basic salary is just given as basic salary was 2,400 and dearness allowance was 800. So can we take it as just for this 2,400 as per month? So
No,
you can just
monthly
multiply it by 12. So.
They should say that it's monthly only. Normally they have to say, otherwise answer will be different because
So we are not multiplied by 12, sir. So we should multiply it by 12.
When I read it, I don't know whether I use the word monthly. It is monthly only. Monthly basic salary and DA. Monthly basic is 2,400. Yeah, it's a valid question. Monthly basic is 2,400. Monthly DA is 800.
We
Okay.
in this in the answer that you did, sir, but we have not multiplied by 12, sir.
No. Not that. Okay, I think you got that. I'll clarify that. The provision I read was 15 days salary based on salary last drawn. Means last monthly salary.
Yeah, yes, I got it.
I
Thank you.
think I said that maybe last drawn salary means not average or anything like that. You have to take only the last salary, monthly salary. Okay, clear now?
Sir, yes, sir.
Good. Okay, so 15 by 26 is the number of days into 39 years of service into last drawn salary is basic salary plus DA monthly. Then second slab is how much? This is fixed by government. What is the third slab? Actual gratuity received is how much?
78,000.
Actual gratuity received is 78,000. Correct? So now the least of the following is exemption or least of the above is exempt. Least of the above is exempt. So received gratuity or gratuity received is 78,000. 8,000 is exempted. So the least enama monthly least is that
72,000.
72, correct. So taxable is 6,000. Taxable gratuity. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணோம்னா இந்த taxable gratuity வந்து இங்க போடணும் நீங்க. ஓகே. Salary component you have to insert a row, the Excel. Okay, so it's very slow actually, don't worry. So here you need to incorporate the taxable gratuity. Okay. Incorporate for understand. Entire row. Okay, so gratuity. All you are given the working note, so you can take the tax. You can refer the working note. Please refer, or you can show it here itself. Working note number 2 or whatever. Indicate that and taxable portion of gratuity is 6. So this is what will come into your salary computation. Have you understood this part? Very, very important. So after determining the taxable gratuity, you should bring it to the salary component. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு item add பண்ணிட்டே வந்தா total salary கிடைக்கும். புரியுறதா நான் சொல்றது?
Yes, sir.
All of you are clear? How to
Yes, sir.
determine the tax component?
அந்த எக்ஸல் மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் காட்டுங்க. அது லாஸ்ட் இப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணது.
என்னப்பா?
அது லாஸ்ட் ஒர்க் பண்ணோம்ல சார்.
லாஸ்டா?
லாஸ்டா இப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணோம் போடுறீங்களா அந்த சம்.
ஆமா.
அது மட்டும் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
क्वेश्चन ஷேர் பண்ணனுமா?
ஆன்சர் நீங்க எழுதிருந்தீங்கல்ல.
நீங்க நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஒரு நிமிஷம் காமிக்கிறேன்.
அது கீழ. அது
யா.
எஸ்.
இங்க
இது yes. Right.
Kindly note it down because when we share searching for it would be difficult. You note பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோங்க. Easier for reference.
Sir,
Yeah.
I have one more doubt, sir. Sir, in the question, it was not mentioned that the dearness allowance was forming part of salary. But why are we including it, sir?
Good question. I'll answer that question. Good question. This is what I want you to ask. Perfect. Normally, what happens is the question should indicate everything very clearly. And if the question is silent, the normal assumption is it's considered as a part of salary. You can as well put a note there. I am talking about the normal practice. If the question is silent on whether DA is included as a salary or not, that is the normal practice because your dearness allowance for PF and other retirement benefits is normally included. So if the question is silent on that, you can put a note. It is assumed that dearness allowance is forming part of salary for the purpose of calculation of retirement benefits. If the question is silent, normally 99.9% they'll indicate. Because what happens otherwise, no, each student will make a different assumption and that becomes a chaos. And so even in valuation process that causes a problem. So normally the question paper setter will indicate that in the question. So it's a very valid doubt because that has to be mentioned. Otherwise, definitely you'll have a doubt in exam hall. And in a worst case scenario, if they have not mentioned, you put a note or an assumption and proceed through the problem. That is a normal assumption. Okay. The other assumption of it is not included means it's very rarely made, because sometimes practically what happens is the normal assumptions are valid. You can very well make that normal assumption and proceed through the problem. Clear?
Sir. Thank you.
Very clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of you noted down this answer. Can we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we have covered leave salary, we have covered gratuity. Now we go to the next one. It's something called pension. Okay, gratuity, leave salary. Yes, it's pension. Now in pension, you have two types of pension. You're all very much aware what is a pension. A pension is a periodic payment paid by an employer to an employee, normally on retirement or after retirement. Okay. Now, when a person is retiring, it is also called a superannuation. So, superannuation, technically, retirement or the other term is superannuation. And generally speaking, superannuation is and the 58 years or 60 years complete one of the terminology we have to use superannuation. But otherwise, retirement is a very broader term. You can retire even in 40 years. If you go and ask, you are all referred to as millennials. So, nama matta exclusion adula. Please, na exclusion. Ungal include panikiran. Millennials அப்படின்னா என்ன? Have you heard of the term called millennials? You have not heard? Millennials are the people who are referred to the youngsters of the current generation. Typically 18 plus and 25 up to 25, 30. Millennials are youngsters. So, இப்போ நிறைய youngsters ஓட கோல் என்ன அப்படின்னா, typically ஒரு, let us say for example, நான்லாம் படிக்கும்போது ஒர்க் பண்ணி 58 வயசு ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட், 60 வயசு ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட். So when I was studying, we all were keeping in mind எப்படியாவது 60 வயசு வரைக்கும் வேலை பார்த்து ரிட்டையர் ஆகணும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு மைண்ட்ல தான் படிப்போம். ஏன்னா இப்போ எப்படி மில்லியனர்ஸ் என்ன நினைக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா, 40 வயசுலயே நம்ம வேலையெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டு நம்ம ஜாலியா ஃபாரின் டூர் போகணும், இல்லை ஏதாவது நம்ம ஓன் ஹாபியை பர்சியூ பண்ணணும், இல்லை we have to do whatever we want அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு தாட் ப்ராசஸ். அதுல நிறைய சேஞ்சஸ் வந்துருக்கு இப்போ இன்னைக்கு ஜென்ரேஷன்ல. இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு லேட்டஸ்ட் டெவலப்மெண்ட், இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் டெவலப்மெண்ட். In fact, a lot of seminars are happening on these areas and other things. Today, the entire economy is evolving around millionaires. India is a country which has got working population, which is no other country. In fact, for another 30 to 40 years, we have working population. And our youngsters are there. India, in the one country in the world which has got youngest population, working population, for another 40 years, they are available to work for India. The only country is India in the world. So, India அதனால என்ன அட்வான்டேஜ்னா, economy is going to grow for next 40 years, 50 years. In the near term, 50 years வரைக்கும் நம்ம assured. நார்மலா நம்ம அதுக்கு பேர் என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா விசிபிலிட்டின்னு சொல்லுவோம். இல்ல, இப்போ வந்து நம்ம இந்தியா growthக்கு விசிபிலிட்டி அடுத்த 50 வருஷத்துக்கு என்ஷூர். ஏன்னா ஒர்க்கிங் பாப்புலேஷன் சார். இந்த மில்லியனர்ஸ் என்ன பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, they wanted to retire early and pursue their hobby, profession, I mean whatever, passion and all that. So what they do is today, very interestingly, when I was employed, I mean, when I studied and I got employed later after my job, my first goal was what normally of my generation. Any idea? What would have been my first goal after earning my salary income for some time? Now, first, என்ன வாங்கணும்னு நினைப்பேன். Generally, சொல்றேன். So I'm talking about 25 years முன்னாடி.
To buy radio or TV.
ஓகே, அது வந்து ஸ்மால் ஐட்டம்ஸ், பெர்ஃபெக்ட், 2-wheeler, ரேடியோ, டிவி எக்ஸெட்ரா. பட் கொஞ்சம் பிகர் ஐட்டமா பாருங்க. ஜென்ரலா அந்த ஏஜ் குரூப்ல நாங்கெல்லாம் படிக்கும்போது ஒரு வீடு, ஒரு கார், ஜென்ரல் ஒரு கோல் செட்டிங்னா நம்ம ஒரு எப்படியாவது வீடு வாங்கிடணும், இல்லை எப்படியாவது ஒரு கார் வாங்கிடணும்னு நினைப்போம். இப்போ அப்படி கிடையாது. Nobody wants to buy a house today. You know why? Very interesting development. இதெல்லாம் basis for all your professional career and growth and subject syllabus எல்லாம் மாறுறதுன்னா எதனால மாறுறது? இதனால தான் மாறுறது. ஸோ இப்போ இருக்கிற மில்லியனர்ஸோட கோல் என்ன தெரியுமா? வீடு வாங்குறது கிடையாது. அப்புறம் வேற என்ன கோல் அவங்களுக்கு? நல்லா சம்பாதிக்கணும், நல்லா படிக்கணும், நல்லா சம்பாதிக்கணும், ஏர்லியர் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட், நல்ல So today they don't want to buy a home because they don't want to stick to a place. இப்போ நான்லாம் சென்னையிலே வளர்ந்ததுனால நான் சென்னையிலே வீடு கட்டி சென்னையிலே இருந்துட்டு இருக்கேன். பட் இப்போ மில்லியன்ஸ் என்ன நினைக்கிறேன், சென்னையில நான் வீடு வாங்க மாட்டேன். ஏன்னா நான் சென்னையிலே இருக்கணுங்கிற அவசியம் கிடையாது. நான் அதோ எனக்கு நாளைக்கு இப்போ குவாலிஃபை ஆயிடுவேன், எனக்கு பாம்பேல வேலை கிடைக்கும், பூனால வேலை கிடைக்கும், ஐ மே கோ டு டெல்லி ஆர் ஐ மே கோ டு Dubai. Why should I buy a house in Chennai? And I am willing to move to any location in the world. So what is the point in having a house in Chennai? Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Am I reflecting the thought of youngsters like you, the millionaires? You all should tell me that. நீங்களாம் தான் சார் நீங்க சொல்றது கரெக்ட்னு சொல்லணும் சார், அப்படியெல்லாம் கிடையாது சார், இன்னும் வீடு மெட்ராஸ் தான் வாங்கணும்னு ஐடியா பண்ணிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு ஒரு இல்லைன்னு சொல்ல வரல. But I'm talking about the general trend. So another thing is they don't want to buy a house, they don't want to buy a car. Why? See, when I say they don't want to buy a car, I don't say they don't want to use a car. They want to use a car, but they don't want to buy a car. They want to go on a lease option. And the lease option is an advantage. Every 3 to 4 or 5 years, you can change your car. ஏன்னா நிறைய கார் மாடல்ஸ் வந்துட்டே இருக்கு இல்லையா. நான் ஒரு கார் வாங்கினா அது 30 வருஷம் வரைக்கும் நான் ஓட்டிகிட்டே இருப்பேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, அது போர். எனக்கு 5 வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு கார், மேக்சிமம் 4 வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு கார், அடுத்தது எனக்கு இந்த 4 வருஷம் எக்ஸ் கார் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், அடுத்த 4 வருஷம் ஒய் இசட் அப்படி. ஸோ நான் காரும் வாங்க மாட்டேன், வீடும் வாங்க மாட்டேன். வேற இதெல்லாம் சிலதெல்லாம் நான் இப்ப பேசுறேன், ஓகே விட்டுருவோம். ஏன்னா that is the way the world is developing சொல்ல வரேன். So the point is the whole culture is changing, the society is changing, the expectations are changing, the outlook is changing, everything is changing. So consequently, the entire taxability aspect of it and all will be reorganized. So as the days go, slowly things will change. Nowadays, in fact, honestly, many companies, they pay salary saying that I will not give a breakup and all, basic, DA, blah blah blah, I'll give you 1 lakh rupees per month, you do whatever. There are few companies, and there are few companies which offer you a flexibility of choosing your own plan of income. Okay, what are the components you want? Because somebody may have a house, so they don't want a HRA. Somebody may have his own car, so he doesn't need a car allowance. So there are few things which companies offer you a flexibility of choosing your own structure of salary also. That is a very interesting thing. So they will tell you at the time of joining, you give me your structure of salary, what you require. Basic is common to all. Dearness allowance is generally common to all. Apart from that, whatever you want, you choose. Clear? Are you able to understand? I'm trying to relate the practical aspect of it to the provisions of the income tax because the changes are happening, and consequently, today there are more things which are adding up. There are few things which are going out and all that. Okay, coming back to the point on this aspect of dearness allowance, generally it is included for retirement benefits, and so it is very much valid to put an assumption that it is included. Clear? Have I answered that point? Any other doubts at this stage before we go to pension? So I was talking about the pension here. The pension is nothing but the annual benefit given or monthly benefit, generally recurring in nature. If anything which is of a recurring nature, which is paid, is referred to as an annuity. So annuity is an annual payment in Solomon. So pension is a recurring payment. Every month you get 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 as a pension. Now in this pension, again, you have something called the pension at the time of retirement, which is taken in one go. Government employees are fully exempt. The entire pension fund amount, which has got accumulated over the, what happens, I'll tell you, the employer will contribute to a pension fund. And sometimes there is also a fund called a superannuation fund. So the superannuation fund or a pension fund in this fund, which is created for the purpose of payment at the time of retirement. The employer will contribute month on month basis X amount, and sometimes employee will also be required to contribute Y amount, or in the PF contribution over portion pension payroll. PF contribution over portion pension payroll. So in the total amount will build up to X amount at the time of retirement. Let us say Mr. X is working for last 30 years and he is now retiring, and he's going to get a pension fund of 15 lakhs, 1.5. And whether this 15 lakhs is taxable is a question. For a government employee, the entire pension, which is 15 lakhs, when he's going to get at the time of retirement, is fully exempt from tax. But for a non-government employee, there is a taxable aspect for pension. There is one more type of a pension. On retirement, you can choose to get pension instead of in a lump sum format. You can choose to get pension in the monthly. I said X got 15 lakhs is a lump sum pension, but instead of that, you can get month on month 15,000. That 15 lakhs will be intact. It is something like a monthly pension, you get 15,000. That is fully taxable both for government employee and non-government employee. So the full amount of pension what we get at the time of retirement is called a commuted pension. It's called a commuted pension. And month-on-month pension what you get is called uncommuted pension. It's called uncommuted pension. Uncommuted pension is fully taxable for government and non-government employees because it's a month-on-month like a salary. Even after retirement, you have to pay tax on that, provided you are crossing the slab and all that. So if Mr. X retires after 30 years, he gets a monthly pension of 15,000. The entire 15,000 is taxable per month. So per annum, it is 1,80,000. Whether it's a government or a non-government employee. Hope you understood. So uncommuted pension or a monthly pension is fully taxable for all categories of employees, whether it's a government employee or a non-government employee. Whereas with respect to commuted pension received by government employee at the time of retirement is fully exempt from tax, but for non-government employee, it is partially exempt. And we have to discuss that in a little more detail. I'll keep it for the next class. So have you understood the concept of pension? And there are a few more interesting things in pension, like pension received by an employee from UNO. What is UNO? You know what is UNO?
United Nations Organization.
Very good. United Nations Organization. So pension received by an employee from United Nations Organization is fully exempt from tax, even if it's a monthly pension. It's fully exempt from tax. Similarly, family pension received by family members. Family pension term enna appadina, on death of an employee, the family members receive pension. Government la pathina enna பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா ex ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயியா இருப்பாரு, அவர் ரிட்டையர் ஆயிருப்பாரு, ஒரு 5 வருஷம் ரிட்டையர் ஆயிட்டு உயிரோட இருப்பார். அதுக்கப்புறம் he would have passed away. அப்ப அவங்க ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் வைஃபோ இல்ல சன்னோ யாருக்காவது அந்த பென்ஷன் வந்துடும். ஸோ அதுக்கு பேர் ஃபேமிலி பென்ஷன். அதே மாதிரி ஆர்ம்டு ஃபோர்ஸஸ்ல இருக்காங்க இல்லையா, அவங்களுக்கும் சில சமயம் ஆர்ம்டு ஃபோர்ஸஸ் வந்து எனிபடி டைஸ், அப்புறம் அவங்க ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கு பென்ஷன் கொடுப்பாங்க, அந்த பென்ஷனும் எக்ஸெம்ட். ஸோ ஃபேமிலி பென்ஷன் ஃபார் ஆர்ம்டு ஃபோர்ஸஸ் இஸ் எக்ஸெம்ட். ஃபேமிலி பென்ஷன் received by family members is partially exempt. How much is exempt? It is 1/3 of the pension or 15,000. There is a standard deduction. Balance is taxable. Let me repeat. For armed forces, when you receive when family pension is received, it's fully exempt. But armed forces illama other normal government employees or private sector employees pension receive panna, there is a standard deduction available, which is available at rate of 1/3 of the pension of 15,000, whichever is less. Balance is taxable. And pension received by an employee after retirement, but during his lifetime is taxable, I told you. So this is something you need to understand. So the commuted pension, uncommuted pension, these are the two categories of pension. And in the next session, when we meet up, we will be discussing in detail about for a non-government employee with respect to commuted pension, how it is taxable. Non-commuted pension is anyway fully taxable, but we need to understand how to calculate the taxable portion of commuted pension. We'll discuss that in the next class. So I would request you to go through the video class plus this live class once again. I am going to anyhow record it and share it with you, and go through the study material and spend quality time in understanding these provisions. There are a lot of provisions, so you cannot keep it for the end. You have to continuously read. As I said, allot 1 hour per day minimum for income tax. That will be good for all of you. I'll catch up with you in the next session with another topic and subject, which is tomorrow. So take care and have a nice day. Any doubts, as usual, always feel free to reach me. I'll be happy to clarify that. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Great. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.